Shalom everyone, a continued series of Daf Yomi, page 51 of Masechet Zevachim, and we should grab every opportunity we've got for a mitzvah. That's what we're talking about here in today's page. Now, we actually saw that in the Mishnah in 47, the remnants of the blood of a korban chatat, a sin offering that was brought in the inner sanctum of the Bet Mikdash, was poured out on the foundations of the altar that stood outside of the temple in the Bet Mikdash courtyard. Now, of the various sin offerings, those that were brought by the high priest, the Kohen Gadol, which we see in Parshat Vayikra, I believe, and those that were brought by the Sanhedrin on behalf of the entire community, as well as those brought in Yom Kippur, were brought on the inner altar. The others were brought on the altar that was outside the temple courtyard. And obviously we have to go back to Parshat Vayikra with regards to that, looking at the individual sinner, which would very much we spoke about. In the case of the korbanot, let's just say, that were brought on the inner altar, sprinkling the blood, which, as we have learned, was an essential part of the sacrificial service that took place within the confines of the temple. Nevertheless, that was left over. The blood was sprinkled, was, let's just say, poured out on the altar that stood outside of the temple in the courtyard naturally over here. Now, that's what we've learned about already in the previous pages we've already seen about in itself. Now, some manuscripts of the Talmud do not necessarily include the last explanation, that the outer altar is the first place that the Kohen reaches when he exits the inner sanctum, as it appears that Rashi did not have these words in the Gemara. The great commentator of the name, the Tosafot, he's actually going to say, explain Rashi's understood that the source for this law is the language of the biblical passages, Minat Torah, in of itself, respectively, themselves. And that is not because ein ma'avirin ala mitzvot, that a person should not miss an opportunity to perform a mitzvah. Now, Tosfot argues that the idea of an ein ma'avirin al ha-mitzvot only applies in situations where two mitzvot need to be fulfilled, and we need to determine which is the one to be done first. There's a whole code of conduct within regards to that. In cases where there is a single mitzvah to do, we need to separate instructions about what should be done. It's very, very important at that stage in time. So grab mitzvah. Every time we've got the opportunity to a mitzvah, we grab it, we utilize it, Be'ezrat Hashem, and do great things with it. Wishing you all a fantastic day. Once again, this is taken from Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz from his excellent notes here on the Daf Yomi on OU website, and a beautiful park right outside Machon Meir Yeshiva. And take care. And thanks everyone for watching.